I don't think DJs practice enough. There's people playing huge festival stages, and I don't think that they've practiced. There's kind of a feeling of vulnerability when you're up there, when you're like on a huge stage. Imagine you've got 50,000 people in front of you. You can like totally mess it up. If I loaded a track onto the wrong deck, all the music would stop. Imagine what that would be like in front of 50,000 people. I spent 400,000 on the sync show. I didn't have to spend that. Could have just turned up and done a DJ set and actually made money. The system is definitely not designed for us to win. The reason we should keep playing is because it's so much sweeter when you do win. There's probably like 20 artists in the world who headline festival. In the kind of DJ world, they don't want a 21st person in there. They don't want more people in the top to compete.
Why should somebody stick it out and do all of them things? James, welcome.
Thank you.
What I want to get out of today's conversation is I want to almost prove that anybody can get into DJing and make it to the top or become super successful. I want you to prove that to be right through your own story.
I think you're talking to the right person.
Yeah, I think I am too. But why should somebody who's watching this now maybe think about getting into DJing, may have just started, why should they even want to be a DJ?
I mean, the thing with DJing is you're in this crazy position where you get to control the energy in a room. And once you've experienced that, you'll realize what a mental feeling that is. And I mean, it helps if you love music as well. Like for me, I realized first that I loved music and I just wanted to mess around with music, like mix things together and stuff. But once I actually did that in front of real people, then yeah, you realize that you can get this crazy instant feedback and you can take the mood up, you can take the mood down. But before you even get to that point, you are going to have to go through so much practice, so much rejection, and so much in general just bullshit that you've got to be like so determined if you really want to make it to that top spot. So if you want like a certain career, if you want certainty, then honestly that it's not the career for you.
What does it give you that nothing else can really give you?
I mean, there's kind of a feeling of vulnerability when you're up there, when you're like on a huge stage. Imagine you've got 50,000 people in front of you. You can like totally mess it up. You literally could. Like if I pressed like, if I loaded a track onto the wrong deck, all the music would stop. Imagine what that would be like in front of 50,000 people. So you've got this crazy feel, but at the same time, you can also like take the mood to an insane place. Like you can have the people just hanging on for what's coming next. And I don't think there's many things in this world where you get that control to take it up and down, and you get the instant feedback, and you're also stood there with nowhere to hide.
It's unbelievable. and you post quite a lot of the failure things, because I think there was an era gone by where all artists would post all just the wins, right? The shiny wins, the stage and the clips, which still happens obviously in your world. But you're quite keen on showing that other side of it as well.
I just want to show that I'm the same as the girl who's watching in her bedroom. I'm the same as the guy who's watching, who's just picked up his first controller. Like I'm just a human as well, and I've done years and years of this to get me to where I am, and loads of practice. But I'm still just a human, and it can still all go wrong. And one thing that I'm keen to show as well is it's not the end of the world. Like you can actually mess things up, and 70% of the crowd don't even notice. No. You know, so. I think that's why I'm keen to show a lot of that.
I think that's part of it though, right? Like the mishaps and the mistakes and stuff that happen. A lot of our like audience and beginner DJs, when they're first starting out, the main thing they're trying to avoid is messing everything up. They want everything to go perfectly well in a scenario. They want to have the perfect set the first time they go in, and it's just some of the beauties, the failures, right? They're like error codes on CDJs, and you drop in a track and the crowd not really feeling it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, the thing with what we do is we have this vision in our head of what is perfect.
Yeah.
And I've rehearsed this trick or whatever. I'll go and do it on stage and I'll be like, oh my God, I missed that one hot cue. It's not perfect. But no one else knows what that vision was. So if they thought it sounded cool, then it's cool, because there's way more of them than there is me, you know?
Yeah.
So I think sometimes we can get caught up in what our idea of perfection is, and it can actually kind of ruin the art.
Yeah.
Because the art is what happens live in the moment when we're up there in front of all those people, and allowing that to come out naturally. This is why I'm against like kind of pre-recorded sets and stuff.
Yeah.
The magic that comes out in that moment, it's never going to happen again. It's never happened before. I mean, yeah, you're gonna hear me play Ferrari again, but like the way that things are mixed in, and the way that the music interacts with each other, and the way that makes the people feel, that's a one-time thing.
100%. If you, with all the experience you have now, if we're talking about the beginner getting into it, what do you think you would go back and not care about? If you think about someone starting out and they're overthinking all these things, what have you learned at this very like high level? If you were to go back and like speak to yourself as you start getting into it, what is just things that you wouldn't care about?
You've got to really own who you are. And it's such a difficult thing to do, because we all, if you wanted to be a DJ now, maybe you look up to like Fisher or something, and then you're just like, oh, I'm going to be like Fisher. And you're going to start doing what Fisher does, like making videos like him, playing music like him. And nobody's ever built anything good by doing that. And as soon as you can tap into what you really are and own it, because I feel like we all go through life like trying to be cool, trying to be like the cool kids, and that's not what the cool kids are. The cool kids are just being themselves, and it's such like a weird human trait that we have. But I just feel like in the past maybe 6 years, I've actually just accepted who I am, and I've been able to play music with that in mind, create music with that in mind, create content with that in mind. And that's the magic. And I wish that the first, I don't know, like 10 years of my career, I'd understood that.
I totally agree with you. If I think about the top guys in the industry, everything's so individual. And then if you go on YouTube, everyone's like, how to make a James hype track, how to make this. And there's a difference between inspiration and then just trying to be someone else, right?
Yeah.
Do you think that it's, to make it to the very top, there's a finite amount of people that have done it? So do you think it's the system in the DJ industry, do you think it's designed to help people win? Or is it designed for those who are just willing to go a bit further to get it?
I don't think the system wants anyone to win.
Yeah.
Because there's a select few people at the top. Like you said, there's probably like 20 artists in the world who headline festivals. Sorry, in the kind of DJ world, you know? Yeah. And they don't want a 21st person in there, you know? They don't want more people in the top to compete. And it's kind of crazy because like me and you grew up in a similar way, like a town in the north of England, like normal upbringing. And we all went to school and we got taught, oh yeah, if you work hard, you can be a doctor, you can be a lawyer. And there was like a clear path set out to do these things if you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
Nobody said you can be a DJ. No one ever said that. But I mean, I was fortunate. I discovered DJing. I got my decks when I was 15, managed to get a paid gig when I was 18, which was amazing because it meant I didn't have to go and look for a real job, you know? So super grateful for that. But no one ever said, oh, you can be the festival DJ. You can make loads of money. You can go and headline festivals. Like we knew these people existed, but they're aliens. They're on another planet. They're not like us. But the crazy thing that happened to me, so I was a DJ in Liverpool, and I used to play every night of the week, like resident DJ. I was really happy. I had a really good life. And I entered this competition, and the competition was to DJ in Ibiza. And I was like, that would be amazing. I want to DJ in Ibiza. Entered the competition. I got through to the final. And in the final, I got to meet Calvin Harris. And it blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Do you know why? Because he was a normal person. Like, he wasn't like, he was just like, he reminded me of so many people I just knew from home. And I was like, what the hell? If he's a normal person and he can be Calvin Harris, then that means I can be, I mean, not Calvin Harris, but I can be like Calvin Harris, you know? And I was in that competition, and all I wanted was the DJ in Ibiza. But as soon as I'd seen that, it like opened my eyes, and I was like, I don't just want to DJ in Ibiza. I want to be Calvin Harris, because now I believe that I can. And I think that so many of us, we grow up and we don't know that we actually are able to do these things, because no one ever told us we were.
Yep.
And why would they?
No.
It's like, I mean, my dad was an engineer and my mum worked in a school.
Yep.
So they were like, oh yeah, go and get a job, you know, go and get a good job, go to university if you're really smart.
Do you feel that sense of responsibility now when people in your position now, when people come up to you with that same excitement that you met Calvin Harris? Do you feel that same? Do you feel like a sense that you need to like give back or be that person for them?
I try to.
Yeah.
I try to, but I don't know if it hits, you know? I meet loads of people. I make it my mission to meet loads of people. I'll always try and go into the crowd at the end of a show if I'm playing the last set. And I do get a lot of people say to me, like, the things that you say online are really inspiring. And that's really cool, because obviously people know my music. People have known me DJing for years. But when your words are actually connecting with people, that's really, really sick. And I like to think that I can give them some motivation, like, bro, just keep going. Like, this is honestly, that's all it takes. Just keep going. You don't need any talent that you haven't already got. You don't need any connections that you haven't already got. You're gonna get those over time. Just keep going.
Do you think that like sense of them feeling like they know you, it comes from obviously you've been making content for like years and years, but obviously you're moving differently, vlog and behind the scenes. That it feels like that is such a powerful way to like know who someone is. You can go on, Instagram, watch the clips, you can go on YouTube and watch somebody's DJ set. But then when you really know like who someone is, like you can't fake a 24-hour day, right? Right, and edit it out, right? That's like who you are. Do you know what I mean? And I think that is really, I don't know if it's like it's come back, but all the like top guys and top girls seem to be doing that now, because it's different. It's more of that emotional connection that you feel like you know somebody.
Yeah, I mean, we had an era where reality TV was like the Kardashians and stuff, and that's let's be real, that is not real. It's not real. It's scripted, everything's set up, and it's super edited. But now we live in the generation of like the streamer and stuff, and we're literally just following people around, like doing their everyday stuff. So yeah, the consumer likes real now, because we almost bounced all the way back from the super fake.
The super fake, in the quick Instagram clips and things like that. It's definitely like more one of one. And that's the other thing as well. If we're getting to an era where AI can make music, AI can make Unreal images and videos, it's going to be more and more who is the person behind it. Like, because you've got one of one story. If everyone has access to the same tools, you think it's important for people trying to build an audience to just, like you mentioned at the top, just be yourself all the time.
It's more important than ever, because like you said, like the music, we're already seeing hundreds of thousands of tracks on Spotify every day, half of them generated by AI. And then those going to be loads of people making amazing content. So what's the message behind it? What's the unique human experience that humans can relate to?
If the system is like designed to not have everybody succeed, then why should someone keep playing it? And what do you do in your own time to keep like your own promises to yourself when it comes to like the hard work that people don't see?
I mean, the system is definitely not designed for us to win. It's not. But
Facts.
The reason we should keep playing is because it's so much sweeter when you do win. Like there's so many people who have kind of had these success stories, and they've I don't know, mom and dad were famous musicians,
Yeah.
or they came from loads of money and things like that. And it kind of makes me proud to be one of the ones who's there through working hard. And I think I want to inspire a generation of people who have that same feeling. And trust me, feels fucking good when you do it.
Do you know what we teach thousands of people how to DJ every year, and we're always asking them that who they aspire to be, and it's like your name comes up so highly, and it's a few things, but obviously the technical things are the main. They want to get excellent on the decks because it's quite accessible, right? You can get a controller for £200-300 and you put out videos doing crazy mixes on DJ 400s and Flex 4s and things like that. But one of the funny things that we see with our students, they always come, and if you ask them to show you a mix, they'll always do your Fisher One More Time clip.
So old, bro.
Always. It's like always that.
Do you know, that's 8 years old.
8 years old.
Yeah, 2018.
Jesus, I'm old, man. they all want to do that. Yeah. It's crazy.
What was there was a second part to that question.
So to get to that level where you're creating these viral moments on stage, there's a lot of promises that you've got to keep to yourself to make that happen that people don't see. What are those for you?
The promises that I make to myself, that I keep. I mean, there's promises on so many levels, but I have a big thing where I need to make music every day,
right?
Even if I don't feel like making music, because I know I've been doing this for a long time. I know there's days when I was fucked, man. I was on a plane and I'd had 1 hour sleep. I made a banger, you know. I wasn't inspired. It just happened. So it's not in your control when you make good stuff. And if you only made music when you really felt like it, I'd probably only make music 20-30% of the time.
Right.
I've only got 20-30% of the chance of making something great, you know. But yeah, like keeping promises to myself. When I first started out making music, I used to release a remix every single week because I knew that if I did that for long enough, it would like let people know my name, and that would be like the key to the next step. And I used to. This is when I was a resident DJ in clubs, and I just taught myself to make music. And I used to come home from the club at like 4 or 5 a.m. and literally just stay up finishing this remix because I knew I was like, oh my God, I've got to put it out tomorrow. Right. No one's telling me this. I didn't have a boss. I was the boss, yeah. But I had to keep this promise to myself because I'm like, well, what have I got to? If I can't stand by this, then why do I even deserve to win? You know? So I was coming home from the club at 5 a.m. finishing this remix, be working on it until like midday, and then I'd be sitting there making the artwork myself, and then I'd put it out on SoundCloud and do like all the promo for it and stuff. And I'd do this just week after week. And the reason this story is great is because that's where I found my manager. He was like, he reached out to me, and I had a few managers reach out to me, but this guy had reached out to me and he's been like, I've seen your remixes on SoundCloud. I think we can really do something amazing together. And it's like, it fucking worked, bro. But if I didn't do that on a Sunday morning when I should be in bed, I mean, if I let it go 2 weeks without doing a remix, maybe the next time it would be 3 weeks, and then would I be sat here today? I don't know.
100%. Was your initial idea at that stage when you were coming home making edits? Because when you came into our podcast last time, I mentioned that you got a lot of your initial like fan base through obviously DJs and producers. You were giving us edits. We would go play them edits. They would get reactions. So then that trust built over time that it got to a point where I didn't even need to listen to the track before I like put it on the USB and went and played it. Was that a foresight, or were you subconsciously trying to build a fan base of DJs, or was there no real foresight?
No, the reason that worked is I was creating for myself.
Right.
And because you, at the time, were a DJ in clubs, just like I was, what worked for me also worked for you.
Yeah.
So that was just pure chance.
Do you think that it's something that other artists coming up can leverage? If you think about, you were basically giving value to other DJs and producers to build that trust over time. Do you think it's something that other artists can be inspired to do as well, as opposed to being like, okay, how can I get famous and how can I get on this stage and how can I do this residency? It's like, actually, how can I maybe help my fellow community out or DJs Do you think that's something that I should think about?
Yeah, I still think there's loads of value in that. I think there's more value in that than even back when I was doing it, because we have TikTok now. So it's so easy to like make your sound go viral and stuff. I mean, it's not so easy, but we can make our sounds go viral and stuff. And the whole world gets access to use that sound. Whereas before you put something on SoundCloud, it was only DJs on there, you know?
One thing I tell a lot of like our students is they're always afraid of, they come and make music. They want to be a DJ. They just want to make music and DJ. And the marketing side, content marketing, whatever you want to call it, they all hate. I think a lot of DJs coming up are quite introverted. You become a DJ, you put on a persona, you give yourself a name.
We're geeks.
Yeah.
It's not cool. It's not cool, bro. Like I sit in a studio, like I've been trying to think, how do I incorporate like live streaming into my life? And it's not fucking interesting. It's not like I'm sitting there like EQing sounds and stuff all day. And then I'll be like, oh, I spent 4 hours on this one. No, I'm actually going to scrap this and start again. Like, what's interesting about that? It's so
You'd be
geeky.
surprised.
It's okay, but it's so niche. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, other geeks are going to find it interesting, but like DJs, we're all stood there like acting all cool and shit. We're not cool. We got here, but like I take pride in being able to like name the artist of like random tracks and stuff like that.
Okay, yeah.
Like, I take pride in like my engineering abilities of like fucking
Would you know
mixing a kick
Would you
and
know
bass
whose
and
kick
stuff
drum
like
it is
that.
if you're like blindfolded?
But that's just not cool.
Yeah.
It's just not.
One thing I speak about a lot is that where people struggle to make content, like you say, their life might not be interesting per se, so it's hard. But one thing that you master or have just always done is you're able to just tell a story through marketing, and it's kind of a repeatable formula because it's like a one of one story. I think a lot of people get in their heads about making content. They like wake up one day and like, okay, how am I going to sell this track? How am I going to promote this thing? Whereas you seem to have just leaned into a repeatable formula that is, I call it a storyteller. It's just like you telling a story repeatedly. And it's something that you can't fake. And I think it's repeatable all the time.
Well, I think that's why it connects, because you can't fake it.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
whereas we're also immune to marketing, aren't we? Like,
100%.
If something looks like an advert, whatever, next swipe, you know? So if I'm releasing a new track and I'm like, yo guys, new track out today, go stream it now. This one's the big one. Like, no one cares, bro. But I can tell you about the track in a way that you're going to be like, no way, you know? And if I can figure out, like, because we all have so many stories to give, but we don't think that they're that important.
100%.
Because they're just normal in our head. And even like to the people around us, they can be totally normal. But when you're on the internet, like you're talking to the whole world. So your story's not normal. Your story's totally unique. And you've just got to dig into it and find out what parts of it people might be interested in, and then kind of highlight those things. I'm not saying like tell lies or anything that, because people are going to see straight through it. But whoever's watching this, they have stories in their lives that have happened to them that some people in the world will find fascinating, and they need to believe in that, you know?
Yeah. I reference a lot. I was doing this speaking panel a couple of weeks ago, and some guy came up to me having this conversation about this kind of thing, and he just started out. He got a few gigs, but he was struggling with like marketing. And I say, like, if you just started out, that is part of the story, right? That's like your story. If you go to a gig, there's nobody there, like, film that.
Oh, mate, you could probably go viral.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, you're being really vulnerable because you're having to say
tough.
like, look, I have no fans.
Yeah.
But
then the arc is in a month's time when you get a gig where there's 10 people there. You're like, look at this. I've just started a new, Instagram. I've got no followers. Next month I've got 100. It's all part of the story, which you reference back a lot.
And they're all there rooting for you.
Yeah, 100%.
They all want you to win because they've seen you come from nothing.
Yeah, 100%. I say that all the time. Like, no story, because people also don't like talking about themselves a lot. It's like not a normal thing to do. But it is like we mentioned a few times, that like it's a one of one story. And if you can keep documenting, and you document as you grow as well, as you grow through it, and ultimately if you're trying to get out there and get gigs, you want to be able to tell people in different ways what it is that you do. and people's attention spans are really short. So if someone's coming onto your Instagram or something, you've got about 5 seconds to be like, I can DJ, I can make a song or something, because the competition is just like insane.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I've heard you mention like that this game, or the DJ industry, it's like a sport. Why do you compare it like or mention it's like a sport? Is that more like repetitions, suffering, that kind of thing?
I think so. Yeah. I mean, when you get to the top level, everyone knows how to make a good track.
Sure.
Everyone knows how to mix tunes together. So it's you've got to find that extra 10%. How are you going to be better than you were last time? And that's the same way that the kind of footballers are thinking of the same things. So like, how are you gonna do practice better than you did last time, so that you can deliver something that's going to make people say, wow? How are you going to do a little bit more learning on the music production side, so you can put something extra into your track that you don't think other people are going to expect from you? And it's just the repetition of those little things. And I'm not trying to overnight jump to this new level, because once you're at this level, that's not easy. That takes years. But if you keep making little tweaks, then you can take it to, in 2 years' time, you will be in a totally different level.
Yeah.
And a practice as well, man. Like,
yeah,
I don't think DJs practicing.
Nah, I was going to say that.
Like, bro, there's people playing huge festival stages, and I don't think that they've practiced. Like, and that's wild, bro. Imagine you went to see like a massive band, or like Charlie XCX or some shit, and they haven't practiced.
Like a football team
before.
like, yeah,
football team. Oh my god, yeah. Imagine the football team only practiced on the pitch when they're playing. Like, it's wild, but for some reason that's kind of normal for DJs. Like, so, I get it. If you're playing like a very long extended set, you don't want to prepare what you're doing, because you want to be able to adapt how you're playing as the night evolves, and that's cool. That's normal. When I started out DJing, that's how I used to DJ. But if you're doing a 60-minute set on like a big festival or something, I mean, you should be pretty well rehearsed for that. You should have actually mastered that.
Yeah.
And we've seen like multiple examples of people on big stages, and like everything's gone wrong, and it looks like it's their fault.
Yeah. And it's not really an excuse, because if you're an artist coming up and blowing up, like we've on the resident circuit warmed up for big DJs who have maybe just had a hit, a couple of hits, and then they'll show up whether I'm playing on before or after, and they don't have like that DJ experience, the reps, so they can play the track that goes off, but then they've got an hour or two that they can't hold the crowd, because they don't have the reps.
Yeah.
But it's not really any longer an excuse. It used to be an excuse when the residency world was maybe a bit more, it was easy to get residencies and you could go out quite frequently and get gigs. Whereas now you can blow up quite quickly, get signed to your labels, and you're doing shows. But I still think you can put in the repetition in the dark, or streaming or something like that.
There's a lot you can study as well. Like, go on YouTube, man. How many DJ sets are on YouTube? Like, so you can, even if you're not getting the experience in front of the crowd, you can watch other people doing it. And that's like going back to sports. That's what athletes are doing. Like, they're watching their own performances. They're watching legendary performances. So you can study, even if it's your first time in a club, you can still be prepared for that. And yeah, you can run through your set. If it's a short set, you can write out the track list and mix it and figure out at what point you're going to mix each record in, so that you know you're going to nail it. And even if it's not that, if you're going to go and play a long set somewhere and you don't want to plan the set, totally fine. But you can go and do a load of live streams and just get the hours in mixing records. We wouldn't expect people to be good at anything if they haven't spent a long time doing it. And yeah, it's like you say about DJs, because there's a ton of people out there who they made a couple of tunes, or they made one big tune, and then they're playing like big DJ gigs, and they're not good DJs. And it sounds kind of harsh, but they're not.
No.
Like, you've got to have done at least like a couple thousand hours before you can be like a serious DJ.
Yeah.
And like, Logic knows that.
Is that why you're grateful for the residency world back in the day?
Oh, mate, so grateful. Like, I feel like I didn't really find success until like later in my life than some DJs did. And I'm grateful for that for so many reasons. Like, I'm grateful for that because it meant as soon as I had any opportunity, I was so prepared, because I'd done so many reps. I've played everywhere, you know. I've done weddings, I've done like student nights, playing 90s bangers.
Yeah.
So I've done it all, mate. So I'm so, you give me like the little sniff of opportunity. I'm so prepared for that.
Yeah.
And that wouldn't have happened if I'd got that opportunity when I was 19. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You come in here today and you mentioned you just did this 7-hour set at Space Miami as opposed to going and do, you know, a 1 hour, 2 hour headline show. Is it fun to just, you know, scratch that old school DJ itch where you're having to think about, you know, the crowd and what to play and such a long period of time? Do you still enjoy that process?
Yeah. So when I played at Space like 2 days ago, I don't even know when it was, but I played 5 a.m. till like 11 a.m. And that's cool because when I was 16, I used to go out to all these nightclubs in Liverpool, and they used to just like, there were just like bangers that they used to play. We didn't have Shazam, we didn't have anything like that, but you'd kind of like hear from your mate like, oh, that's what that song's called, that's what that song's called. I get to like go and like just drop one of those little songs in there, and I played a tune by John Dahlback.
Oh yeah, let's go.
And the one of the tech
was this at Space?
Yeah. One of the tech guys in Space was like, we are, and I'm like, yeah, you were going out at the same time as me, my friend.
Nice.
But that's like, I mean, I've played Space quite a lot of times now, and when I first did it, it was really scary to me, but now I feel like quite at home there, and it's really good. But recently, I played at a club called Stereo in Montreal,
right,
which is like a famous no phones club,
right,
custom built sound system and stuff. And that one was interesting because I didn't start at 5 a.m. I started at 8 p.m., something like that, crazy early. And I essentially played my own warm up. So that was a ton. Because when you go on at 5 a.m. in Space, it's bouncing, you know? But this one, I played my own warm up. When I went on, there was like 50, 60 people in the club. And that was crazy for me. Yeah. Because I was so out of touch with that.
Yeah. How did you find it?
Oh, I loved it.
Yeah, sure.
Absolutely loved it. But you have to like have quite a lot of restraints as well, because I mean, you'll have people there at 8 p.m. in the front row holding up a sign like, oh, play like one of your big hits or something. I'm like,
Ferrari 8 p.m.
Yeah. Give me 5 hours.
I want to talk a bit about momentum, because outside looking in is very different to inside the ropes. If I think about your career, it's always felt like it's just like an upward trajectory. And I know that obviously you will have a completely opposite perspective. Have you got any reflections recently of scenarios where you felt like that momentum kind of stalled or stopped, or do you never really let that happen?
Momentum always stops, but you don't like, I've been through like 3-4 cycles of it where you're flying and then you're like, oh, everything feels harder now. And then, but yeah, it's normal in any sort of growth. You have plateaus, and the plateaus can be terrifying. And the first time you experience a plateau is terrifying because you're like, oh shit, it's all over. But you just got to keep fighting and you keep pushing, and then you'll break through. But you don't even realize, bro, when you have momentum, you don't even realize that you're riding momentum. It's just, everything feels like it's working like it should. You realize when it stops, and then you're like, oh, what? Everything's harder at the moment. Like my music didn't do so well. My Instagram post didn't get so many likes, you know. And then you're like, shit, it's all over. But it's not all over. It's plateau's normal. They've written books on this. They've written books on it, you know. But yeah, when it's hitting you personally, that can be scary.
Yeah, I think you seem to take like a lot of risks. I know the last time we spoke, you were on the UK tour with all the gang. You came to Leeds and we came to the show, and you spoke quite openly about that sort of cost money. It wasn't like you weren't trying to make money out of the fans. It was like a give back scenario. You spoke on like your channel about the costs involved in like the sync show and things like that. Why do you need to do that?
It's a good question. You don't need to do it.
Yeah,
you don't need to do it. I mean, I'm trying to reach huge amounts of people. I'm trying to show the world that not just me, but they can do something insane. And if I just get paid my fee for a show and just say, thanks guys, I'm just going to come and DJ for you, I'm not staying true to myself there. I want to show people something that they've never seen before. And I want to show and I want people to say, wow. And I want to take the momentum that will give me to keep on going upwards in the curve. So yeah, I don't have to spend money. I spent 400,000, I think I said on YouTube. I'd spent that on the sync show by the time it was all done.
Yeah.
And I didn't have to spend that. I could have just turned up and done a DJ set and actually made money. But I'm trying to do something that makes a 15-year-old kid in his bedroom think, wow, that's fucking cool. I wonder if I can do that. And then he goes and looks at like me talking to you, and he's like, oh shit, like he's actually not like he's not a fucking superstar. He's not like crazy talented. He's like a normal guy. I'm a normal guy. I wonder if I just do what he did, if I could do it too. And the answer is yes.
Yeah,
you know,
100%. What is the cost of that people don't really talk about?
the cost of what?
The cost of the sacrifice, the constant, I guess, feeling of trying to do the next thing.
Well, I mean, I don't do anything else.
Yeah.
I don't do anything else. And that's not an exaggeration. Like, see my family a few times a year. I took my family on holiday in December, and I tried to do like something amazing like that, like so we get to make these amazing memories.
Sure.
But I don't see them the rest of the time.
Yeah.
Barely see my missus. And she's super understanding of that. And we do like a week here where we'll hang out for a week. But like I have to sacrifice a lot. Like I don't people ask me about movies. I haven't watched any movies. Like, any movies, bro.
Yeah.
Like TV, I haven't watched anything. So you can't talk to me about that kind of thing. And that sounds like, to me, I don't care about that. But to some people, they'd be like, what? You know?
Yeah.
Like I don't follow sports. I work out because that's kind of like a meditation to me.
Yeah.
That helps me get my head in the right space to keep going hard in the other fields. But yeah, there's so much sacrifice involved in this. Like I don't chill. I literally don't chill. Like I get up in the morning and remind myself that nothing I did yesterday mattered. Nothing I've done in the past mattered. Like what am I going to do today to make myself proud and to keep that trajectory going upwards? And yeah, sometimes that is like a lonely place to be, you know?
Do you think people misunderstand like your intensity? Do you care?
I think we all struggle to kind of understand others, you know, like because it's very hard to put yourself in the brain of another person.
Yeah.
And I think there are people who do understand me, but they're the ones who want to, and then there's probably some who don't want to, and whatever.
Does it help having a team?
Of course, it helps
The
having
team,
a team.
yeah.
Of course, it helps having a team. Like, I mean, the cool thing about my story is I used to do this myself. Like I used to do everything.
Right.
I used to turn up to DJ gigs with a camera, with a fisheye lens and a tripod, and I'd stick it in the booth behind me, and I'd capture the whole gig, and then so that I could get clips for social media.
Sure, man.
And
thousands of DJs do that now.
Yeah.
As it should be. Yeah.
No. But I was doing this before
Yeah,
anyone was doing
super
it.
before, like, yeah.
I was doing this like 2012.
Yeah.
Like no one was doing that shit. And as soon as I started getting paid like more than I needed to survive, I got my mate he was also a DJ at the time, and I was like, yo, you want to like hold this camera that I've got? So he started filming me with this. We had one camera with a fisheye lens, so he always had to be like this close to me because the lens was so was so wide. And like all the kind of I spoke about making the artwork for my my records and things like that, like in the past, and because I've done all this myself.
Yeah,
it's really exciting to have a team, because I mean it's also difficult because there are sometimes things where I'm like, oh, I could probably do that better. I've got to let go. Things like that, because you've also got to remember other people's input is super valuable. I don't know everything, and sometimes I'll make a call and be completely proven wrong by someone else on the team. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure.
So yeah, having a team allows you to, well, for example, my team are editing like 2 YouTube videos every week. I couldn't do that. I mean, I could, but I wouldn't be making any music. I wouldn't be preparing my set. You know what I mean? So it's little things like that that they keep everything ticking over. All the stuff that my tour manager does, I don't even know the half the stuff he's doing. Like, but I know that when I get to the gig, like, wow, everything's working. But if he wasn't there, then it wouldn't be. And then I wouldn't be focused on music. I'd be focused on making sure everything was working at the gig. And it's luxuries, you know. You don't need the team. There's actually big artists, like not like top big, but there's fairly big artists who will like travel around with a girlfriend or something like that. But that's just a choice. Like some people want to spend the money, and some people don't.
Is it, how super involved are you with the output of things? You mentioned your team here. You've got a couple of YouTube videos. Are you watching every minute of every one? Are you redesigning thumbnails on text? Or does it depend?
It does depend.
Yeah.
If it's like a video format that we do regularly, I don't tend to proof it. If it's something that's new to us, then I'll probably be quite involved, giving feedback and stuff. When it comes to the thumbnail, I do tend to give an opinion. Like, people tend to send me ideas, and I'll be like, oh yeah, we should go with this one. We should go with this one. You know. How
do you choose what thing to focus on next? If I think about your calendar coming up, I know you've got your Ibiza show residency coming up. You're just about to fly over to San Francisco and here, there, and everywhere. You've got a tune out like right now that you're trying to promote. How do you manage focus? And is it a battle?
There is no focus.
that's fair, right?
No, there is no focus though. Like, I hadn't really thought about that until you asked it. But I mean, it is a constant balance, because I have, and this is like promises that you keep to yourself. I try and post on social media every single day.
Yeah.
And that's me. That's not someone on the team. That's me. I try and...
You're doing that yourself?
Yeah. I try and release a record every, I don't know how often it is, but, you know, and I try and, well, we do make a YouTube video every week. So this comes down to promises to yourself. So you put those things in place, and then it's a non-negotiable, you know? I mean, not so much with the music, because sometimes I do have huge gaps in my music releases, but this year it's not looking like that. This year it's
really?
Like, I've got so much like in the bag already. It's
I can imagine,
So yeah, the YouTube once a week, every Monday, that's non-negotiable. Sometimes we do twice a week, but the minimum that's non-negotiable once a week. I don't think I would say Instagram every day is non-negotiable, because sometimes I'll be like, there is literally nothing to post. So maybe like 5 times a week, what I'd say is non-negotiable.
Yeah,
because I like to just have all those shots at the target, you know, to see if one's going to really hit.
I want to talk about music releases actually. I think what our audience would love to know is, are you actively, how do you choose a release and what to release? Because I know that the recent one, the one out now, Be Mine, is something you posted and it went off and you decided to like lean in and finish the track. But then I'm guessing you've had tracks where you're playing regular gigs, they're going off, so you're like, okay, this might have legs. Like, what have you naturally done over the years in your career to decide what goes out and what doesn't go out?
I don't think your question is relevant. Because what I've done in the past doesn't fucking matter, because everything's changed, bro.
Fair.
Like, in the past, we used to sit in a meeting with a record label and they'd tell you what one they thought was good.
Yeah.
And then me and my manager would go, because my manager's my A&R, because of his relationship with the record label. So it's kind of good, because I don't have to deal with any weirdos. Not that they're weirdos, you know. Oh, this is terrible.
Go on, who is it?
But yeah, like I obviously made him have a good relationship, so I can take his feedback, and he respects my opinions on it and stuff. But yeah, we used to go back and forth with A&R, all that stuff, and we don't do that anymore. We literally don't do that. Like, I put a video out online saying how Be Mine was kind of conceived from a TikTok. And I was literally in my apartment in Vegas, made a 20-minute idea, posted a clip on TikTok, just all the audio through the phone and everything sounded like shit. And it got like 8,000 saves. And I was like, what? Like, you lot like this? And then next thing, anytime I post on social media, all the comments are like, when are you releasing Be Mine? Like, whoa, okay. Well, I guess we're releasing Be Mine. So then I had to finish it and try not to ruin the magic of the original clip. And then release it. And that's my strategy now, because if any artist goes into a record label meeting today, the record label are going to talk about one thing: TikTok, because that's in truth, that's how records are made nowadays. If your record's big on TikTok, it's big everywhere. If your record's not big on TikTok, it's going to be tough getting it to be big anywhere else. So if I can make a 20-second preview of a song and put it on TikTok and TikTok likes it, that's the best A&R in the world, right?
100%.
And I don't like it.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to be this way. In fact, I didn't used to use TikTok. I used to have someone who just posted things on TikTok for me because I didn't like it on there. There's too many like negative people and stuff. It wasn't good for my mental health. So I didn't used to use TikTok, but I'm so glad that I decided to give it a go, because this is now how I and my team
music.
are A&R in tracks.
Yeah.
And you said something else as well, like if the dance floor loves it.
Yeah.
And I love that. But I also don't think it is that important to a release, because I've made so many tracks that the dance floor loves.
Yeah.
They're not big tracks,
Yeah.
and I've kind of learned that now. Like I have IDs that I play in my set, and I'm like, yeah, this goes off. Probably never release it though, like because there's a difference between what people want to hear on a dance floor and what actually connects with a listener, I think.
Yeah, it's true. As a DJ, you assume that the tracks that are going off a radio or top 10 Beatport here or there, you go and play them and you're like, why is this not landing?
Yeah.
And that can only be found out testing, which a lot of DJs don't get the opportunity to do, maybe. I asked you a question at the beginning, like if you could go back and give yourself some advice, would that be one of the things right now? If you had to pick like 3 things, would it be start making music, put it on TikTok?
Oh, if you were doing it today, oh my God.
If you started today.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because also as music producers, we get so caught up in like one thing I always hear, I just need to get it mastered properly.
Oh yeah.
That's what everyone says.
Yeah.
Every like bedroom producer, they'll be like, oh, if it was just mastered properly, this one could be huge. And I used to think the same thing, like when I first started making music. But the truth is, there's so many tracks that have become huge that are mixed like shit.
Yeah.
Because it's all about the vibe. It's all about how does it make people feel? That's it. No one's sitting there listening to it like, oh, wish this was mastered properly. I am, but no one else is. Do you know what I mean? The geeks are, but no one else is. So it's a great time right now, like to be a new producer, because you can just create like a little vibe and put it on TikTok, and you're gonna be able to tell if people fuck with it or not. Because if no one fucks with it, you'll see, and if they do, you'll see, and they don't care if it's mastered properly or whatever. And if it really comes down to it, and you end up posting some little TikTok of your song in your bedroom, and people love it, you can always pay someone to mix and master it anyway. Or I mean, not everyone has that money, but you could, if it gets signed to a record label, they could do it. Yeah. So yeah, like don't worry about whether or not it's ready.
Yeah.
My track Be Mine's a great example of this. That, like, if you look at that original TikTok, you can see the project has about 4 tracks in it. That's it. It's just like a synth, a kick, a vocal, and like literally a loop or something.
Yeah. I remember Red Light saying, no one cares if you kick drum is in tune, mate. Like anymore, like get over it. I think you mentioned something then, the interaction between audience and artist now. I think about like the Fred Again campaign, where it's constantly putting something out, getting feedback and connecting with the audience and having the audience dictate what happens in your journey. Is that something, I guess the Be Mine's a similar reflection of that. Is that something that you want to do more of as we get in less and less in real life connected? Is it something you want to try and do more of? I think about Crossfader, we're trying to do more in-person events and IRL and trying to get in front of the people who are listening to music, making music, that kind of thing. Is that something you're conscious of, or
do I want to take more input from the audience online
on a journey? Yeah.
I like people to be involved.
Yeah.
I mean, when we planned the whole sync show that we did last year, I documented the whole process, like from the day we started rehearsing to the day we were building the show, and it was like, is this all gonna work out? We really don't know, and you're gonna see it whether it does or it doesn't. And there was even a video we put out where everything went wrong, and I like showing that. I don't know if I'd be sort of taking on like opinions or something. Maybe if it was like a vote, like between two things, like, oh, should the stage be like this or like this? But I mean, the creative still needs to come from us. It can't be like, submit your ideas for the stage. Like, that's kind of wild.
just dead comments. When you do like fail videos, they always get more eyes on anyway, right? People really
everyone wants to see like a big artist fail. Not even from like not necessarily from like a negative position. Like sometimes they just want to see like, well, what happens?
Is there somebody I'm trying to figure out how I word this. Is there somebody that you has something that you aspire to have or not? I know you want to be like one of one, but are there other artists that you admire and go, oh, that's either the level I want to be, or they do this really well, or do you just like day to day take a little bit of something from other artists that you either encounter or that you just see online?
I know exactly what I'm lacking, and I know who's not lacking it. And it's all about people. It's all about team. And I know that like David Guetta, John Summit, I know that these people have absolutely nailed it. You know what I mean? They have the people there who can help with the final production of the record. They have the people there who are orchestrating social. They have the people there who are orchestrating like local campaigns for events, local campaigns for records. And I'll get there, but I'm not there. And for me, that's hard because, I mean, as I said, I used to do everything myself. And there's a part of me that would still love to do that, but it's just not possible.
True.
So hiring people to me is scary because I just, we're all scared of things we're not good at, you know? And I've only ever hired like 4 or 5 people in my life, and it's never been a formal arrangement. Like the guys I travel with, they're like my best friends, you know? It's just my boys. Yeah. So the idea of hiring like, I don't know, like
a company.
Literally like creating a company. That's what these guys have. That's how you are David Guetta. That's how you are the biggest DJ in the world for more than 10 years. Like it's not him sitting there. It's not, and I'm not trying to take anything away from him. I fucking love him. He's such an inspiration. I'm not trying to say, oh yeah, everyone else is doing all the work. No, that's not the case. Like you don't get to be him by getting other people to do the work. You get to be him by being great, but then finding ways to take work from you so that you can do more.
100%. I find it. We were talking about Crossfader a little bit earlier, like the team that we've built out. When you find the good people, your business almost overnight like doubles. Like imagine hiring another James Hype. That's the way you think about it, though, right? If you can find the exceptional people, it's a different game the next day. Do you know what I mean? Is that the mindset? Do you think about then? There's always, and I guess even the guy, you know, David Guetta was sat here, he'd probably be like, there's still another level somewhere to go.
Oh, he would, mate.
You know?
He would. There's only one reason a 57-year-old is still so like excited to be there every day when he's playing the shows. Like he fucking loves it, man.
Just loves it. Yeah, like, lives for it. What is it outside? You mentioned you don't do anything else, train, gym. Is there anything outside of it? Reading, podcasts, self-development. If I think about a journey of somebody like Crossfader, for example, like when you focus on doing self-development outside of, I guess, like the DJ industry, like great companies start to exponentially grow. Have you found that as well, hiring a great team? Do you have anything outside where you listen to podcasts, reading books, or trying to take yourself out of the situation of 7 hours in Miami to reevaluate and look ahead, or is it quite reactive?
I mean, I wouldn't say I consume to escape, but I do, like sometimes in the gym and stuff, I don't listen to music. I'll like listen to an audiobook or something, which people would probably think is kind of weird. But yeah, like I like quite geeky stuff. I remember when I was a kid, I always used to get in the car and my dad was listening to like Radio 4 or something. I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? And now, like, I find myself listening to things. I'm like, oh my God, this sounds like what my dad was listening to when I was a kid.
Yeah, it's true.
Just like old men talking about geeky stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm listening to an audiobook now, and this is like, I don't even think you'd class this as self-development. It's more like history and human psychology. It's called The Status Game.
Oh yeah.
Bill Storr.
Podcast.
Oh, it's a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm listening to right now, and that's like it's kind of crazy, but it's fascinating. And he's just talking about like the human need for status, and all the things it has caused over the years, and how. And we all pretend that we don't have it as well, which is kind of crazy. You know what I mean? Like,
think of our industry though. It's like what mainly people get into it for, like status.
Potentially, it's not why I got into it.
No, me neither.
Because it wasn't fucking cool.
No,
like I didn't know anyone who was DJ when I was 15. I mean, I guess I thought it was cool because I'd seen like DJs in music videos and they looked cool. And I used to skate and there would be a DJ at the skate park and I thought that was cool. But it wasn't like he had girls all around him or anything like that, you know?
100%.
I just thought it was cool because he was mixing music.
Yeah. Now the DJ is the rock star.
Yeah.
It's just everybody sees that thing and they're like, that's the only outcome I want. Like the students you speak to, the students coming up, like they just have one goal and it's universe, it's high. There's so few people who actually achieve that. Like, you know better than I do. How many? Well, you don't have to say it out here, but how many students? Thousands. Yeah.
And like, how many people get to play at Universe every summer? 40, 50. You know.
Yeah. But I always say to people like for me and you, there was never like a get out plan or. There was never an idea or a moment where I was like, I'm just not going to do this. But what you find is in the industry, you get people who are like James Hypes, or you get people who go into education, or you get like somebody who's the VP of sales at Beatport or something. Yeah. Like there's an amazing catalogue of people in the industry. James Hypes manager. There's amazing catalogue of people in the industry that just if you don't become one of the 0.001%, there's still an amazing thing to be had within the industry.
That's so true. Like I have two managers.
Yeah.
One of them started as a DJ.
Yeah.
My tour manager started as a DJ as well. And so I guess not many people are like 15 years old saying I want to be the VP of Beatport, but they might be 15 years old saying I want to be a DJ. Sure. And then in 5 years time they realize, oh, actually my skills are with working with people, working with businesses and stuff, and then they just kind of pivot into that, and it's still what they love. So I guess
comes down to collaboration as well. Like you mentioned, like DJs, you've gone through similar experiences, and how do you find collaboration at like this level? I know you had Waterfalls out with Bobby Harvey and things like that. How do you find? Are you looking for people to collaborate, or is it like an organic thing that just happens?
For me, it's always been organic. I've never really chased it, and now you say it, I feel like I should probably chase it more.
You think?
Because collaborations are huge, man. Like if we put your fan base and my fan base together, we've instantly got, well, there'll be a bit of a crossover, but you've almost got double. Like on the first day, all those people are going to listen to the record. It's very hard to do though. Like we're all weirdos, you know. Like every artist is so unique, and very few of us are actually like friends because we're all so involved in what we're doing. Like I'm probably going to do, I don't know, like 4 shows this week, and like I've got to fly between all these countries and stuff. I don't have time to go like hang out with another DJ. We don't do that.
You bump into them in the booth and then you're like, okay, see you later.
And you're like, it's dead. It's too loud to even talk.
Yeah.
So it's hard to do. You've got to time it perfectly where you're both really a fan of what the other one's doing. And I mean, the best collab I've ever done was the one with Vintage Culture, which has got like 120 million streams or something. But the crazy thing with that is I thought it was never going to happen. And I almost gave up, bro. I almost gave up trying. But I remember it was COVID, and I'd made a demo of You Give Me a Feeling. And it was it didn't really have any drums. It was kind of shit, but it had like the vocal and the bass line.
Okay.
And I'd been DMing him because we were both doing like live streams on YouTube, so we knew who each other were. And I said to him like, "Oh, what do you think of this? Do you reckon we can collab on this?" And he was like, "Yeah, I love it." And then I sent him the stems, and he just didn't reply for ages. I chased him like 6 months later or something, and he was like, "Yeah." Just heard nothing again. And then I think I chased him like 2 more times, and he didn't even reply. And I was like, "Oh, it's not happening, is it? It's not happening." Started thinking about finishing the track myself, and then I was like, "Let me just message him one more time." And I messaged him one more time, and he was like, "Oh yeah." And like 2 days later, he'd sent me over a version, and then
Nice.
like we just made a few tweaks, and that was it. And then we released it. And I think if I hadn't have followed up with him one more time, he'd probably forgotten it or something. So
People hate following up.
oh mate, we
People
all
hate
do.
rejection.
I still hate following up even after that lesson.
Sure.
Yeah.
Is there anyone that you've been trying to, or you would love to collaborate with?
I mean, I sent Chris Lake a track last week for his
Oh, right.
label, and he said no.
Yeah.
So don't be afraid.
Yeah.
Like,
It's good to know.
all the time.
Is there anyone? What would make you collaborate with somebody if someone approached you? Like, how would it have to be organic, or is it more of like, if you like the song, you like the song?
Yeah. If I think the track is a fit for me, and I think I want to feel like I can actually add to it as well.
Yeah.
Because like sometimes you get sent a track and I'll be like, "This is sick. What do you want me for?" You know.
Yeah.
So I have to be able to hear something, but then it gets kind of tricky as well because you're bringing two people's visions together. And I like going back to the vintage culture example. When he sent me the track back when he'd worked on it, I didn't like it anymore.
Interesting.
But that's I had to like let go of my own feelings because
His audience would.
yeah, bro. Like
Yeah.
he's a big artist as well, you know. So it's like his vision and my vision coming together. It's no longer my vision. It's like some of my vision's in there, but you have to let go a little bit. So there's another reason collaboration's hard.
Yeah, it is. If I think about this year, then I was watching on the train down here. I was watching the Sync show and how just insane that fucking production was on the show itself. Is there like a next thing in your mind along that line to do something of that level in like the near future?
There is, but I don't know what it looks like right now. Like we're working with a new team for designing the show,
Right.
things like that. And I think we proved what can be done with the technology at the end of last year. And it's amazing that we managed to literally get it all working, like controlling the screens with the decks, controlling the lights with the decks. Amazing.
Pyros, everything.
Yeah, fire. We controlled fire with the decks. Okay, so we proved what can be done, and the next step is like just elevating that more. And I wish I could tell you what that looked like right now, but I actually can't because
No.
it's in the hands of some very capable Frenchmen.
If you had to only focus on one single thing for the rest of the year, which I know might be impossible, what would it be?
I think I'll become a streamer.
Yeah. It's the thing, though. It's the thing.
I wouldn't make any money, but like, could probably survive.
I heard someone talk about where they was at who was it? They were at, do you know the charity football match? What's it called? Soccer Aid or something like that. They were at this Soccer Aid, and there was like 3 types of celebrities, right? You had your TV celebrities, you had like your short form creators, you had YouTubers, and you had your streamers.
Yeah.
And the celebrities got like no cheer from the crowd.
Yeah.
Short form, a little bit of cheer. YouTubers, big cheer. Streamers, crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. And it's because you, like we mentioned at the top, right? You're spending all your time with somebody
It's
constantly.
like your mate.
You're just your mate.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. Is that something you're thinking about?
I've been thinking about it loads,
Have
but
you?
I don't understand how it just doesn't fit into my life.
Mm.
And I mean, I do stream occasionally, but
Yeah.
I don't understand how a schedule could ever make sense for someone who travels as much as I do. I mean, we even tried an airport lounge stream.
Yeah.
We did that
Did
once.
you?
Yeah. But it was just like, I mean, you could probably make that a thing, but you don't have much time. It'd be like a 30, 40-minute stream.
Sure, yeah.
So like,
That's stream on a flight.
how are you going to compare that to someone doing 8 hours?
Yeah.
It doesn't work. But yeah, if you had a gun to my head and you said, oh yeah, you have to choose one thing that you can do,
Stream.
and you can't do any of the other things that you love, I'd be a streamer.
Yeah. I think we've talked about it as well, like Crossfader, like how do you, but it goes to the thing what in our minds that we think the day-to-day is boring as fuck. But other people, maybe not.
If you do watch the best streamers, they are creating
Oh, of
scenarios.
course,
They're
yeah.
creating interesting scenarios. And I don't think I'm capable of doing that while performing to my best as a producer, as a DJ, and even as a traveling artist, you know.
Yeah. Maybe as a bit of a closing towards the end question. After all we've discussed and talked about, from starting out to making it to the 0.1%, just reiterate why it's worth it for somebody who might be listening to this now thinking, I've been trying, but I don't know if it's for me. You know, last time when you came on our podcast, you mentioned you slept in the studio, you've been broke, you put money into, you went over to LA and tried to fake it till you make it. Why should somebody stick it out and do all of them things?
You could wake up in the morning tomorrow and you could make the song that gets played at someone's funeral. You could make the soundtrack to somebody's life. You can give someone an experience that they'll remember forever with their best friends. And any one of us can do this, because when Avicii sat down and made Levels, he didn't know he was going to make one of the greatest dance records of all time. He just knew he was just rocking up to the studio and probably just messing about. And that's what keeps me going when it gets hard. That's what, like you said, I slept on the floor of the studio because they wouldn't take me to rent an apartment. And that's what keeps me going through those times. It's the potential, and it's the potential it's in all of us. And some people don't believe that it's in them, but I believe it's in them. And I believe that there's still so much in me that people haven't seen yet. And when that potential is at play, you go through whatever the fuck you've got to get through to get to the other side. Because, I mean, you haven't heard my best record yet, that's for sure. But if I give up, you'll never hear it. And makes me kind of sad just thinking about it.
I think that's an amazing way to end the talk, mate. This has been amazing. Thanks for coming in, being so honest, inspiring people.
Thank you for having me.